This is what I got. And if you look at the layers, there's nothing here. There's the logo, that's for the header itself. Oh, that's ugly. That looks really low fidelity. By now, guys, you must have heard the news that Figma stock dropped 12%. Same thing happened to the Adobe stock, which dropped by 2%. And whatever you think about the stock drop, it doesn't really matter. It just shows you that the market is really not certain when it comes to the product that Figma provides today. What I want to do today is try and redesign the Craigslist. I think this could be a fun project. This website has not been redesigned in 30 years as far as I know, so there's quite a bit of complexity here. So what we will do today is we will design using Stitch and using Figma. Then we will build the application from those designs and try and deploy that as well. So the round one is going to be all around design. We are going to use one vague prompt, and the second test is going to be with a more comprehensive prompt. We are going to prompt Stitch, and then we're going to prompt the Figma design tool, which has the AI capability. Once we have the designs, we'll compare them side by side. Round two is going to take the Stitch design and use Google AI Studio, hopefully seamlessly to build the application itself. And in Figma's case, we're going to use the Figma Make to do exactly the same thing. And then I am not entirely sure how this is going to go, but we will try and deploy both the Google generation and the Figma generation and then compare them side by side. These are the two prompts we'll be testing today. The first one is going to be very vague, just go and build the Craigslist application. The second one is going to mention exactly the same thing, but it's a little bit more comprehensive. It mentions features that I would like to see in the application itself. I'm going to try and keep this as fair as possible. I am just curious how this is going to play out. So all I'm going to do is just paste the vague prompt in both applications and kick them off. So we've got the redesign Craigslist, make it modern and easy to use. Keep the name Craigslist in the header. I want to see if the LLM is going to follow my instruction with keeping the name. I am going to select the web. I'm going to add an image. And then for the generating LLM, I am going to pick 3.1 Pro, which is a good model. For the design system, I am going to pick Let's Stitch Decide. So it should do all the thinking and propose something. So let me actually screenshot. So let's just screenshot Craigslist page to add a little bit more context to the LLM. Go back to Stitch, paste the link. There it is. Then I'm going to go to Figma. And this is the Figma design tool, which has the capability. And for full transparency, I have not been using Figma at all as a very involved individual contributor, as well as being a manager of a design team. I have not used Figma in 2 years. I do production work, high revenue features that I am working on, but I have not touched Figma in 2 years. So if I'm going to miss something here, I'm doing something wrong, just drop me a comment so I can learn from you as well. So to access the AI tools in Figma, we click on this widget button here and we see the first draft. So I'm going to select the first draft, paste the prompt. I see we can select something else here, basic site. Okay, so this is pretty nice. I guess we'll pick basic site. I think that's going to be the most fairest comparison with Stitch. So I'm going to pick basic site and I'm going to go back to Craigslist. Okay, so let's grab a screenshot from the Craigslist page. Let's see, go back to Figma, paste the screenshot. Hey, wait a minute. I'm not able to paste a screenshot. Okay, so there is no option to add more context, I guess. Again, guys, it's been 2 years that I haven't used Figma. If I'm doing something wrong, just please let me know in the comment below. But I am not able to add an image, so I guess we will need to remove the image from Stitch as well. So the test is actually fair. Okay, let's kick off the Stitch generation and we will finish Stitch first. This test is not about speed. It is more about the quality of the output. I am really more interested in that today. So Stitch gives us a little bit of the thinking process behind its decisions on the left-hand side. So that's kind of cool experience. And obviously, if you guys have not seen my first reaction to Stitch, go and watch the first video that was dropped a few days ago. I'm going to put a link somewhere at the top of the video and also add a link in the description itself. Okay, so we've got our generation from Stitch, from the vague prompt. It just gave us one artboard. I guess that's okay because the prompt was super vague. It did follow the instruction to keep the name in the header, which is perfect. It is not using the colors, or maybe it is. Let me check. No, so you can see, no, actually it is, because the logo Craigslist is kind of a purple, if you can see here. So that would be accurate, I would say. And the website definitely looks like way modern website. It's got a prominent search. It also generated images, which are pretty awesome. They match color scheme, which I really appreciate that. Looks clean. It's got a footer, very simple footer. Yeah, it's decent. I would say it's decent from such a lazy prompt. Now let's go and see what Figma is going to generate. Okay, so in Figma, we only have the prompt. We were not able to add an image, so that's what's going to happen. I I'm gonna hit make it and we'll see what we get. Okay, so we've got our generation from Figma. Not entirely sure why it's orange. It did use the name in the header, so it followed the instruction. For some reason, it just looks a little bit like a mobile design, but that's okay. There is no image here in the hero section. That's a shame. Again, orange, pretty simple design. It still generated images that are, I would say, slightly different style, but that's probably okay. And yeah, I mean, it's okay for what it is. And I see that we've got a few options. We can select a different style. So maybe let's make a change to it. Oh, that's ugly. That looks really low fidelity. This is not good. Left hand side is the generation from Stitch, nice and clean, something that I would definitely go and visit. On the right hand side looks like a low fidelity mock that was put together in 5 minutes. Because it's obviously Figma Design, you get the chance to move things around because it uses auto layout. So that's a big benefit in terms of like what Figma provides. That could be very useful. In terms of Stitch, the only way to make a change is to actually select the elements and then prompt the AI to make a change to the element, which I guess it's okay. Might take a little bit more time, but you can still accomplish that. Having said that, I believe that is going to be the next step for Stitch, introducing same or similar functionality as the auto layout in Figma. Because Stitch generates an HTML, it is quite easy actually to add a drag and drop. So we'll see in the future what happens. So far, really the point goes to Stitch when it comes to UI generation from a vague prompt. Next test will be for the more comprehensive prompt, which lists actually the features. So let's just paste that prompt and then let's also place that prompt in Figma. So first draft, basic site, paste the prompt. Again, I'm not able to add images to Figma to add more context. You can do that in Stitch, but to keep this fair, I'm not gonna do that. So again, web version in Stitch 3.1 Pro Gemini, and then just kick this off and let's see what happens. Okay, so both of them finished. We can see in Stitch, as you would expect, the design system and then the generation, which looks pretty nice. Nice color scheme. We've got our categories. We've got our feature listings. Nice clean footer. Definitely something that you would expect to see. And then we have the actual listing page. So it did follow the instruction because that was in the prompt. Nicely done. Nice and clean. Generated images. Pretty awesome. Something I would definitely use. And then we've got our filters on the left hand side. We've got our gallery and list options. Again, images. Pretty nice images, to be honest. With prices. We've got breadcrumbs. We've got the top header with the search, which is really nice that it kind of kept the search as the main element that people will probably or most likely use. So that is awesome. Now, in terms of Figma, let me move this here actually so you guys can see it. Stretch this. This is what I got from Figma. So I think I'm going to rerun just Figma, which is a shame. And if you look at the layers, there's nothing here. There's the logo, that's for the header itself. Then there is a container, which is empty, and then frame, nothing in the frame. So I'm going to rerun just the Figma one, and hopefully it's going to generate something so we can continue and try and build that application actually. Okay, rerunning the Figma design exercise. So same prompt. It's not a PRD, so it should be able to handle it. One thing that I noticed is when you do that, this is the only feedback that you see here. I'm not entirely sure what kind of an LLM it is actually using in the backend. Okay, so this looks a little bit better, more promising. So we're getting some content back. Let's wait and see what we get. Figma tends to be very quick, but again, speed doesn't really matter that much if the generation is not on the level that you would expect to be, right? Okay, so it's finished. So again, we have a bunch of options that we can choose from to change the theme in Figma. Now, this is terrible, not good. Let's see, let's pick one. Okay, I'm gonna pick this one, but none of them look amazing to me. It did add the header. It did keep the name in the header, which is as it was prompted to do. There are no images here, which is weird. Like we see some images here, but no images here. It looks very basic. This just doesn't look good. I'm sorry, but this just doesn't look good. Okay, what can I do here? I see we've got some options here. So if I click on make changes, it brings up styling changes. So we can change the radius. We can change. No, we cannot change the theme. We can change the spacing. So the slider doesn't work. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if you guys can see this or not, but I'm trying to click, and then the font, it just disappeared. I click on the typography button and it just disappeared. Not entirely sure. Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Again, this is the Figma design tool with the AI capabilities. Hey, if I'm doing something wrong, correct me, put in a comment what I should be doing. Side by by side, Stitch on the left-hand side, the comprehensive prompt or pseudo-comprehensive. It was just one paragraph, nice and clean, something that we can definitely generate using Google AI Studio. Love the images. And on the right-hand side, Figma, and this is the only thing that we've got. There are no pages that we can look at. That's pretty much it. It's almost a shame to use tokens for this in Make, but we'll do it anyway. So in the next round, we are gonna use Google AI Studio using Stitch and generate the app, and also try to do the same thing with Figma Design to Figma Make and see what happens. So we've got our design in Stitch. We're gonna start with it. The way to actually send this off to Google AI Studio, it's actually pretty easy. You have to select everything and then hit on export, select AI Studio, which is still in preview, which is kind of insane because it is already super comprehensive one, the application and how this should work, hopefully. I see that we can also, let me hide my face so you guys can see, I see we can add something custom here. I'm gonna leave it as is, so I'm using all the defaults and I'm just gonna go and build with AI Studio. Click on the button. Okay, so it opened the Google AI Studio in a new tab, and as you can see, it has a PNG attached to it, an HTML page. Again, Stitch generates HTML, and that's pretty awesome actually. And then another image and so on. So this is the context, and the prompt says, build me an app with screen that looks like this. You can hot link images from the HTML. Pretty nice. So I'm gonna hit build and hopefully it is going to work. Okay, so we've got our Google AI Studio generation based on the Stitch design, and I think it looks very close, or maybe even the same. Not sure if this is gonna work, probably not, but that is okay. Stylistically looks awesome. Let me actually put this into full screen and zoom in a little bit so you guys can see better. We've got our hovers, underlines, we've got hover over the search button, we've got post, account, we've got community, services. Nice. We've got all categories. It zooms in on the images, price tags are here, nice and clean, not overcomplicated. It's pretty nice. What else can we do? A product page maybe? Yes, we can. So we've got our breadcrumbs, so we've got the images. So this is not hooked up, but I think it's okay because it wasn't in the design, and then we can come back to it and iterate. That's actually nice that this element, let me try myself, this right hand side floating element is quite nice because it stays visible when you scroll. I like that very much. Buttons need a little bit more work. So there's no functionality, it is just UI. That's okay. Then the categories page, the slider actually works. That's nice. Input fields work. There's no drop down. Yeah, and your, typical listing page with beautiful images. It's not a bad starting point, and then we can start adding functionality to it and hooking up other pages into it. On the left hand side, we've got our Stitch generation, and on the right hand side, we've got our Google AI app generation. And I think other than icons and small UI tweaks like this heart, for example, element, it looks very close or identical, to be honest. It's not really far from how Stitch has designed it. Maybe the header, this element here is a little bit different, but again, this is not meant to be a true go-to-market application, obviously, nor is the design itself. It is just a starting point, and it didn't take that long as well, so that's pretty awesome. Let's now try and do something with the Figma generation. Okay, our Figma generation, again, we just got one artboard from Figma, which is quite sad, to be honest. So let's see, what can we do? I guess we can copy it. So if I copy it, go to Make, as you can see, I have not used it at all. Can I paste it here? Yes, I can paste it here. What else can we do? Touch design. So let's actually do that as well to make this fair. So copy link, attach a design. There we go. It does exactly the same thing. Okay, so I'm gonna remove one of them. And now I have to describe what I want to build again in Make, which in Google AI Studio you did not have to do that. It just took the designs. It knew exactly what you want. What do we have under default? Okay, so we can pick the LLM. Let's actually, this is awesome. So we can pick exactly the same LLM as the Google AI Studio used. So Gemini 3.1 Pro. So we'll do that. The book icon is just the library. We will leave that as is. I don't know, make it. That's gonna be the prompt. I'm not entirely sure what I should put here. I don't want to repeat the same prompt because that's obviously not gonna be a good test, and send it off. Here is one thing for you to keep in mind, please. I am using the free version of Google AI Studio. I'm on the free tier, so I've got free requests here. You are currently using free tier requests, okay? There's no API that I have linked up to this, so this is all free. Whereas in case of Figma, I am actually paying for this every month, unfortunately. I am still using Figma for the YouTube thumbnail generations. So typing in text, I could use Canva for it. I'll probably switch because it doesn't make sense paying for it anymore. So as you guys can see, we've got 3 errors in Figma Make. We had no errors in Google AI Studio, just an FYI. So I'm just gonna fix it, I guess. Okay, nice. So we've got our generation and we've got 1 error. I'm gonna fix this in a second. So let's see. I mean, it just took that poor design from Figma Design. It did add more. Okay, so maybe Figma Make is gonna save Figma Design too. Oh god. Okay, let's see. Categories. We've got our feature listings. Looks clean. It's not bad. Looks very basic, to be honest. But okay, let's click on elements here. What do we get? Okay, so they all link to the same page. That's okay. So these are our filters. It is nice that it added the functionality so you can actually filter. That's nice. City won't work. Slider works. Probably works better than in Google AI Studio. That's okay. I like that. Let's click on one. So there's no zoom, nothing really. Oh, there's like a slide overlay when you hover over the images. So this is the listing page. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, not much kind of a validation, credibility in terms of messaging, I would say. It looks really, really basic. Looks like a template, like a shitty template, to be honest. Okay, let's compare this now to the Figma design. Left-hand side is the Figma design tool with our 1 artboard generated. And on the right-hand side, we've got our Figma Make generation, which is way better than Figma design, to be honest, when it comes to the features that it did add. Kind of cool, which makes me wonder if the Figma design tool, the one with auto layout and where you do all the manual changes, will not go away at some point. It might actually. So Figma Make, right-hand side, Figma design tool, left-hand side, very standard. I mean, anyone could put this together in 2 minutes. To be fair, Gemini, the chat interface Gemini, could design a better website using HTML. So I am really not impressed at this point at all. Let's do the deployment test and see how easy it is deploying applications from both. So in Google AI Studio, we have 2 options. We can either share or we can publish the application. So let's check out the share one first. You can make it public, so anyone with the link is going to get access, or you can restrict and invite people to the application. I'm going to just make it public and then choose to open in full screen and copy the link. So once you copy the share link, this is what you get. You get the application itself, so you can share it with a customer or colleagues and so on. You can then obviously go and remix that if you want to. So this is in full screen. We minimize. The way it works, when you share, it actually shares the entire chat history as well, which is something you don't want to share with. So if you want to see how the customer is going to react, the best way is to actually deploy the application. So in Google AI Studio, it should be fairly easy to publish an application. If we go to publish, which is your deployment, you get an option to, well, just get started. The good thing about publishing or deploying is the fact that you can just share the app. There's no chat history. There's nothing of that. So that's the best way to do it for validating it in front of a customer. So we hit on get started. We can select a Google Cloud project and then just hit publish. Gave us a URL which we can copy, or we can just hit open. So I'm going to hit open, and this is our deployed or published website that you can share with whoever you want to, which is quite nice. And it all works. All the images are loading. Really good and easy. 2 clicks, publish, copy paste the link, share it with the customer or your colleagues to get some feedback, and job done. Similar to Google AI Studio, we also have the option to share the prototype from Figma Make. So when we do that, we get the typical Figma experience where we can pick who has access to it, and then obviously they will see the chat history, what has happened while the AI was working, and so on. So not sure if you want to do that. One thing to note is that the person receiving the link is going to have a Figma account. Almost everyone has Google accounts, so everyone is going to have access to Google AI Studio, whatever you do there. Not everyone will want to have an account with Figma or will have an account with Figma. And then the last option is the publishing or deploying, which is the publish button. And then we can just select the title. This is the URL, I guess, the example URL. It has not been published. There's an option to add this to the community page as well. We don't want to do that. And then when we hit publish, it shouldn't take that long, and provide provide us with a link that again we can share with the customer. Okay, so the publishing in Figma was not that easy actually. As you can see, it was unsuccessful and it's asking me to do it again. So I'm gonna give it another chance and do it again. Hopefully it's gonna work. If you guys have to go through this every day if you're using Figma, just drop me a comment. If that's the case, I know I have made the best decision I could have 2 years ago and just stop using this tool completely and the ecosystem and just move to use Miro and Cursor and actually work in the production front-end code using Cursor to deliver really high value revenue applications and features as an individual contributor. And also, by the way, if you guys are interested in how I work, the workflow that I have and my team has, just let me know. Again, as you can see, it just keeps failing. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing wrong. If there's something that I'm doing wrong, please let me know. It should be easy. I mean, it should really be easy. If this is what is happening in all the enterprise companies, which Figma, you know, is very popular, I really don't know what to say. Okay, before I get any comments that I don't have any credits, that's why it's failing, I want to show you how many credits I actually have, or AI balance. This is the amount. I'm not using this tool at all. So this is the amount I have left. So the left-hand side is Stitch and the right-hand side is Figma. Figma being the OG or the most amazing design tool. Stitch, not so much. The comparison here, it's night and day. The left-hand side Stitch just looks really credible, looks finished to a certain degree. Obviously you can tweak it. It's not ideal, but it's a very pleasing and something that I would probably trust buying from. The right-hand side, it just doesn't look good. There's no credibility, looks super basic. I really don't know what to say. Maybe I am doing something wrong because I haven't been using it for like 2 years now. So just let me know. There you have it. Guys, before I end this, thank you so much for, you know, the engagement on the last video. I really appreciate that. The engagement on YouTube was incredible. Same on LinkedIn. So thank you. And if you are on LinkedIn, just give me a follow. I'll add you. Just, you know, contact me if you have any ideas as well for what you want to see in terms of workflows and actually how I work and how my team works. I'll be happy to do that as well. There are no secrets. We use exactly the same tools as you have access to, maybe just in different ways. So thank you again. Much appreciated. Like and subscribe, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Thank you.